And now, marine weather around Alaska.
All right, time for marine forecast. It's going to be pretty brisk for the coastline tomorrow with a front coming in from the southwest. We've got south to southeast winds here on the south coast, 25 to 30 knots with seas up to 10 feet. And sea height's about the same here for the north coast with east winds at 20 to 30 knots. Inside waters for Lynn Canal, south at 15, south 20 for Stevens Passage. Clarence Strait, small craft advisory, southeast winds 25 knots and seas 5 feet. And for the day on Sunday, here, southwest winds 20 knots or west-southwest winds at 20 for the south coast with seas still up there around 10 feet. And for the north coast, west winds 10 to 20 knots with seas just under 10 feet. Lynn Canal, Glacier Bay, Stevens Passage, wind south 20 knots, seas 4 feet. Clarence Strait, same thing, wind south 20 knots, seas 4 feet. Prince William Sound for Saturday, east at 15. East winds 20 knots for the eastern North Gulf Coast. Northeast winds for the western coast here, right on down to the Barren Islands at 15 knots with 4 to 5 foot seas. Cook Inlet, Kamishak Bay, light variable winds. And for Sunday, Cook Inlet, southwest wind at about 15 knots, seas 3 feet. West at 15 for Kamishak Bay, picking up about 20 knots here for the Barren Islands. Western North Gulf Coast, west at 20, and then variable winds at 10 to 15 knots for the eastern coast. And Prince William Sound, light southwest breeze at 10 knots, seas only 2 feet. Kodiak Island, variable winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet for Saturday. West at 15 for Bristol Bay, and west to northwest winds 10 to 15 knots for the Alaska Peninsula. Outlook for Sunday. Bering Sea side of the peninsula, light variable winds with 4 foot seas. Pacific side, north to northwest at 15 knots. Kodiak Island, west winds 15 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. And Bristol Bay, west at 15, seas 5 feet. Fox Islands for Saturday, north to northwesterlies 15 to 20, seas as high as about 6 feet or so. Adak and Atka, north to northwest breeze at 15 knots, seas 4 feet. And out to the west here, we've got south winds at 25 ahead of that next system coming into the far western Aleutians. Then for Sunday, that front pushes farther to the east here with the stronger winds to the north there, but still looking at some pretty brisk south to southwest winds at 30 knots west of Adak and Atka. Small craft advisory south to southeast at 25 knots. And for the eastern Aleutians, Nikolsky, southeast at 20, and Alaska Island, east at 15. And for the southwest coast, south of Nunivak Island, northwesterlies 20 knots, seas 4 feet, north at 15 for the Pribilofs, northwest 15, St. Matthew Island. Yukon Delta Coast, St. Lawrence Island, Norton Sound, northwest 25 knots. And then for the day on Sunday, Norton Sound and St. Lawrence Island, west winds at 20 knots, west of 15 here, kind of laying down a little bit there for the Yukon Delta Coast, back up to 20 knots from the west for the Kuskokwim Delta Coast. And then with that active front coming eastward here, we've got gale warnings in the forecast. Southeast winds for St. Matthew Island increasing to 35 knots in the afternoon, seas building to 14 feet. Small craft advisories for the Pribilofs, south increasing to 25 knots, seas building to 6 feet. And up north for the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, east-northeast 10 knots there, northeast 15 for the central coast. Western coast, north winds at 15 knots, and for the Chukchi Sea, small craft advisories. North to northwest winds 25 to 30 knots with seas 5 to 8 feet. And for Sunday, those winds come down for the Chukchi Sea, northwest 15 to 20 knots. Pretty light winds there for the Arctic coast here, west at 10 knots, but for the east side, Kaktovik to Demarcation Point, winds will be west at 15 knots.